Hello and welcome to Across the Pond Aces. It's just me here by my lonesome this week. I thought we would do some quick game one finals show. Not going to be too long. Just want to get into an outstanding atmosphere at Michelob that was last night. It was insane, off the hook. Um, My only issue, and I think this is an issue that has to happen when you're abroad, is the game was delayed. Game was delayed 2 hours here in the UK. We didn't get to see it. Well, I did because I have League Pass. So that's one thing. But the game was actually not shown until it was live 8 p.m. in the UK, but didn't get shown until 10 p.m. in the UK. I can't remember the last time I've seen a game on. In fact, you would even call it tape delay because it would be taped and then shown later. I don't think they tape things anymore. Um, Probably not since the 90s. So it's kind of sad that unfortunately, like, we didn't get to see people didn't get to see that game live. And I think by putting it at 10 p.m. as well in the UK, and I don't know about other countries, but in the UK at 10 p.m., you know, a lot of your audience has gone to bed because that means that game isn't going to finish till better part of midnight. So a little sad that they decided that that's the way it was going to be, but I did have League Pass, so anyone who had League Pass got to watch it, which isn't too bad. Game itself, even before we get into the game, like, let's talk about who was there. LeBron was there supporting Asia. Tom Brady was there, and Kelsey Plum had some choice words for him, or one choice word. It took you so long to come to a game, but I think it's good that he's there. He's bought into the team. He's part owner now. Mark Davis obviously there, the kind of majority owner of the Aces. I think that was I think that was really good that he's there. Apparently, he sits next to someone who's a statistician, and apparently they just talk all the way through the game. So I don't know if he's trying to work out who's gonna win, but I think that's pretty cool. The place was sold out. The next game is sold out, and in all fairness, I think on the New York Liberty side, like, they've already sold out the lower bowl, and they're looking to maybe open up the upper bowl of the Brooklyn Arena. So, talking about Brooklyn, like, even their Brooklyn Nets players turned up. Ben Simmons was there, a couple others. So, like, there's a lot of support coming across from the NBA, and obviously, like, this week we just heard that there's going to be a new team in 2025 in the Bay Area in San Francisco. The owner of the Golden State Warriors is basically going to put a team in the Chase Center, which is good. I think I was always hoped that the team would end up in Oakland, but apparently this WNBA team will train in Oakland, so their training facilities will be there. It's quite a long way away from your arena. But other teams have similar things. I know certainly in the UK, the stadiums are actually in the cities. Well, some of them in the center of the cities, and so what they do is their training facilities tend to be outside of the city altogether. So probably fresher air, if nothing else. But yeah, so gonna be training in Oakland. Don't know how I feel about that. I like I say, I kind of hoped that they would have a team in Oakland. That would be an Oakland team. There was talk of that for a long time. Myself and Michelle on the WNBA show spoke about that a lot, but yeah, just didn't sadly happen. Now, the game itself. Oh my! This was a game. I mean, this was truly it. Like a finals game that you wanted. The first half was like smash mouth basketball. Like, it was everything you wanted in a WNBA finals for sure. First quarter, Liberty 25-22. Yeah, that's fine. You know. Second quarter 24-24. So Liberty up slightly at the half. And in the post game press conference, Becky Hammond, she said to her team, she says, like, what do you rate yourself on this game? And I think they all said D. She said, "I don't think you're quite that bad. I think it's C minus, C minus." So it shows the kind of standard that the team want to play to. They want to play to a high standard, a high level all the time. Second half, 26-16 for the Aces in that third quarter, and then 27 to 17 in the fourth quarter. That is phenomenal. And potentially didn't come from who you thought it might. 72 points were scored between Chelsea and Kelsey. And then you add Jackie Young in there and you're up to 90. Like, and they scored 99. So make of that as you what you will. But a phenomenal, it's just phenomenal work by a team that, Candice Parker was there as well. She was sitting behind the bench supporting the team, which is good. It's good to see her there. Good to see her up and walking about. I did see some photos as well from I think it was Saturday where she's at the training facility. She's got a basketball in her hand. She's wearing shorts and sweats. So I'm hoping that that is her coming along now, and hopefully will be fit. I don't think she'll be fit for the finals. I did joke with Michelle Snow that she would come on in the last 2 minutes of game 5 in Vegas and close close out the championships. That'd be pretty awesome. So the game does finish 99-82 for the Aces, and I have to say, first half being really close, really, really close. The second half was not. It was lopsided massively, and the Aces just went to work. Like, you know, class is right across this organization from the top down. And on the court, you have Jackie Young who scores 26 points alone, a couple of turnovers. She played 37 minutes. She played actually more than anyone else, more than Asia. Asia played 35 minutes, scored 19 points. Alicia Clark played 28 minutes. She scored 8 points. So Alicia Clark coming in off the bench. Kia Stokes, we've mentioned Kia Stokes and not scoring. She didn't really rebound a whole bunch in this game either. In fact, everyone is in single digits on rebounds. I think there's a reason for that. Like on offense, you're not potentially getting a lot of offensive rebounds. I think there was about 4 or 5 between everyone on the Aces team. But yeah, I think the rebounds were kind of spread around. Not everyone, I think everyone had, apart from Kia Stokes, had over 5 rebounds each. Some had 7-6 for Alicia Clark, and Alina Coates as well, who came in. Sydney Colson did come in, Kayla George, Kirsten Bell. They kind of came in at the end. It was kind of garbage time minutes that they got, but I think it's still important that they fulfill a role and that they get that opportunity to go onto the floor because yeah, it's not fun knowing that you're the garbage time player, but at the same time, like it's a WNBA finals and you're there. That's experience, especially for someone like Kristen Bell, who's very young, so only been in the league a couple of years. So yeah, I think it's important for her development to see that and come in. I thought overall, pretty good performance. 3 points, Jackie Young. The thing is about Jackie Young, not only did she score 62% from three, but it was when she was scoring and who was in front of her. She shot over Brianna Stewart. And by the way, Brianna Stewart did knock her over. That should have been a foul, should have been an and one without a shadow of a doubt. Like, I'm not buying this at all. However, one thing I will say about the refs, and something that is unusual about a finals or even playoffs at all, the refs let the game go. Like there was 50, there's a cost toying if it was a foul or not type things going on. And the refs just let it go and they let the game flow. And that's what made this game so good. And I really hope that for the rest of the series that the refs let the game go. Obviously, you want to be safe and you want to make sure players' safety is paramount. And I don't think anyone did during this game. And there was even can't remember who it was, but someone had went down, and they went and helped them up, kind of, "Are you okay?" kind of thing. I think it was Kayla Thornton on Chelsea Gray, and I think at first Chelsea Gray thought, "Oh, she's coming after me," but she wasn't. She was just kind of going over like, "I'm really sorry, that was an accident. Didn't mean to knock you over there." And that was towards the end of the game, and I thought that was nice. It was good sportsmanship, if nothing else. And I think that's kind of what you want to see. As much as this is a battle, and as much as we want to see the Aces win, at the same time, I think you've still got to remember that these players are human, and they want to play. Kelsey Plum was another player who was phenomenal in this game. 60%, sorry, no, 14% from 3-point range. Not great, but it was her work inside that you know sometimes sets her apart because she's kind of short and she's going on against Jacko Jones, she's going against Brianna Stewart, and then maybe even Stephanie Dawson if she's kicking around, and she's still going in, taking layups and making them. And I think that's something Sandy Brandello in her press conference said that they can't allow that to happen in any other game at any other time. But even Kelsey recognizes that in the regular season, defensively she was kind of caught out, and she stepped up defensively in this game and offensively to make herself more effective. And I think that was a real difference, real difference. Asia Wilson had an Asia Wilson game. It was insane. It's her movement and the mid-range shot that she has. Like, no one's getting near it. No one is getting near it, and she fights for everything, and she will drive. Now, yes, she is looking for foul as well. Like, what player isn't? But there was one that she faked Janquel. Janquel jumped. Asia then jumped to take a shot that went in, but then there was the foul on top because Janquel's kind of moved across as she's jumped. Asia's then jumped straight up, so you've got a foul there. And I think that's smart basketball. To be fair, it's not like the James Harden where you're kind of jumping into people and jumping forward, like kicking your legs out and stuff. Like I think it's a lot more honest than that. So I think it's pretty well done actually. So Kelsey Plum had 26 along with Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray had 20. So it was actually I think it was 74 that they had between themselves. Crazy, absolutely crazy. They were insanely good, and I think for the maybe for the first time this season, all three have went off at the same time, and that's insane. Asia Wilson just went about her business. Like she was 63% from the field. She didn't take any 3 pointers in this game. She didn't have to be fair. Alicia Clark came in. Alicia Clark was pretty effective in this game when she was in. I think defensively more so. I love her defense. It is so good. She got 2 steals. Sorry, 1 steal, but she got 5 rebounds off the bench as well. So, like I say, most players had 5+ rebounds in this game. She came off the bench getting hers. So, good job by her for a start. Let's talk about the Liberty then. They, it always scares me is Marine. Like all season long, when she's come to play the Aces, she's had like a great game. Um, and she really didn't stop here either. 57% from three, and she scored 14 points. Putting that into context, Janko Jones had 16, Sabrina Iniescu had 7, Courtney Vandersloot had 10. Courtney Vandersloot was missing shots early in the game, and then decided, you know what, I'm not hitting shots. I'm just going to pass it out. I'm going to pass it out to someone. And so she did that. And then towards the end of the game, she started shooting. And that's when she found her rhythm. But I don't think she particularly had a great game. Brianna Stewart she looked angry. Like she was sitting on the bench towards the end of the game when they kind of swapped everyone out. She looked angry. Like she did not, which kind of worries me because Like, I think an angry Brianna Stewart can be very, very effective for a team. She showed that when she was in Seattle, and things weren't quite going her way. She'd get angry and get back on the floor and then dictate the play herself. I feel like going into game two, that's something that Brianna Stewart will want to do. Benijah Laney, like you look at the stars that are on this team: Sabrina, Courtney, Shanquelle, Brianna. I think Laney is overlooked at times. Maybe a little like a Kelsey Plum on our side. I think Laney is overlooked a lot. She scored 11 points, a bunch of rebounds in there, and she was phenomenal on defense. Like her defense was really good, and she was stopping us. But at times, like it was almost as if, obviously in the second half, she was like the only one. No one else was really doing anything. Kayla Thornton came in. I think she had a decent enough stint. She played 8 minutes. Willoughby came in. One thing I will say is that Sandy played her bench early in the first half. I think it was towards the end of the first quarter. She played a lot of her bench, which is unusual. But at that point, they were winning. They were, it wasn't as if they were getting blown out. But we did see in the Connecticut Sun series that last game, no one came off the bench in that second half. And I do feel like she may have more of those moments in this series against the Aces where she's going to have to, rely heavily on her starting five. That works for us. That actually plays into the Aces because obviously we don't have depth. That's something that we lack. So I'm hoping that that can continue. Game two is I don't like how games are kind of stretched out. Like it's kind of mental. Game two is on Tuesday. Technically Wednesday if you're in the UK. It's on at 2 a.m. But it's a late one in in the states, and it's in Vegas. There is no practice today for either team. They announced that at the press conference last night. No practice for either team, but there will be practice on Tuesday, and time for media to kind of scrum around and get some stories from the players around the series in game one. Um, Jackie Young was talked about a lot during the Aces press conference and just the work that she's done. Asia Wilson calls her little sister that she never wanted. Uh, and it was funny because when Jackie came into the press conference later, she was asked like about Asia, and she's, "Oh yeah, she's my big sister." And so you can kind of see that this Aces team is a family, and maybe be a little dysfunctional because it's quite a big family. But I really think that because of the kind of happiness within the camp and the happiness and banter, as we would call it, between everyone on the team, I think everyone's kind of bought into what Becky is trying to put together. That's why we won the finals last year. And I think that's why we'll win the finals this year. Michelle Snow has said it'll be the A season five, so it will go the distance. And I kind of think the same. Like, I think we win the 2 games in Vegas, we lose the 2 games in New York, and we come back to Vegas and we win in Vegas that game 5, and as much as I'd like to win the series earlier, it's kinda nice to win it in your home building, like, who wants to win it in New York? Because then you have to fly all the way back to Vegas, and that's yeah. I mean, probably pretty drunk on the plane, I'd imagine, um, on the way back to Vegas. But, you know, it's a chartered flight. It's fine. It's no problem. But it was a good game last night overall. I think the Aces equipped themselves really well. They took accountability in that second half, or at halftime and said, "Yeah, we need to do better, and we know we need to do better." So I think they came out and did that. They shut down the passing lanes and they got out and transition. And those transition points that Kelsey Plum picked up were awesome and really did make a difference. So I think overall, game one, 99 to 82 for the Las Vegas Aces is pretty fair. And we did a great job on defense. And, I had a coach years ago that always said to me, defense wins games, offense will take care of itself. And I think this game is really a prime example of that because I think the defense was top notch, especially in that second half. I think first half actually wasn't that bad. But I think the second half, like they really stepped up massively. So great win for us. Now, across the pond Aces will be back on Friday. We will have we'll have Samantha back as well, which is awesome. Samantha will be joining me, and we will hopefully be celebrating a game two victory in Vegas and then looking ahead to the two games in New York. So thanks for joining me for this shortened version of Across the Pond Aces, and we will see you very soon. Have a great one.